In the heart of medieval Europe, a shadowy brotherhood of knights emerged, an order shrouded in mystique, power, and legend. Their name, the Knights Templar. For nearly 2 centuries, these warrior monks would carve their mark on history, wielding swords and prayers in equal measure. But how did they rise from humble beginnings to become one of the most formidable forces of the Middle Ages? Join us as we uncover the origins of the Knights Templar. The story of the Knights Templar begins with a momentous event, the First Crusade. In 1099, Christian armies, driven by faith and fervor, captured Jerusalem after a brutal campaign. For the first time in centuries, the Holy City was under Christian control. Pilgrims from all over Europe began flocking to Jerusalem to walk in the footsteps of Christ. But their journey was fraught with danger. The roads to the Holy Land were perilous, plagued by bandits and marauders. Many pilgrims never made it to their sacred destination. The call for protection grew louder, and it was in this environment of need that the Knights Templar were born. In 1119, a French knight named Jacques de Molay, along with 8 companions, answered this call. They formed a small brotherhood dedicated to protecting Christian pilgrims. Their mission was noble, yet humble, and their resources were scant. Initially, they relied on the charity of others to sustain their efforts. Their fortunes changed when Baldwin II, King of Jerusalem, granted them a headquarters on the Temple Mount. This site, believed to house the ruins of Solomon's Temple, was sacred to both Jews and Christians. The knights adopted the name, Poor Fellow Soldiers of Christ and of the Temple of Solomon, or simply, the Knights Templar. Despite their noble mission, the early Templars struggled to gain recognition. But their fortunes shifted dramatically in 1129, thanks to the intervention of Bernard of Clairvaux, a powerful Cistercian monk and theologian. Bernard became the order's most fervent supporter, penning a treatise called In Praise of the New Knighthood, which lauded the Templars as the ideal Christian warriors. That same year, the Templars were officially recognized by the Church at the Council of Troyes. They adopted a strict rule of conduct modeled on the Cistercian order. Poverty, chastity, and obedience became their guiding principles, merging the piety of monks with the martial prowess of knights. The Templar rule was as rigorous as it was unique. Members of the order renounced personal wealth, swearing loyalty to the brotherhood. Their lives were governed by a detailed code that dictated everything from dietary habits to combat strategies. Meals were simple and silent, reflecting their vow of humility. When not on the battlefield, knights trained relentlessly, ensuring they were always prepared to defend the faith. This combination of monastic discipline and military focus set the Templars apart, forging a unity that would become their greatest strength. In their early years, the Templars faced immense challenges. Their small numbers and limited resources made their mission seem almost impossible. Yet, their unwavering dedication earned them the admiration of pilgrims and nobles alike. Donations began to pour in, and their ranks swelled with recruits willing to take up the sword for Christendom. By the mid-12th century, the Knights Templar had grown from a modest band of protectors into a formidable force. Their reputation as fearless warriors and devout servants of God spread far and wide. The Templars' association with the Temple Mount added an air of mystique to their order. This ancient site, revered as the location of Solomon's Temple, held deep spiritual significance. It was here that the Templars drew strength and inspiration, forging their identity as the protectors of Christendom's holiest sites. Legends would later claim that the Templars uncovered sacred relics beneath the Temple Mount, secrets that would fuel countless myths and conspiracy theories for centuries to come. From humble beginnings, the Knights Templar had laid the foundation for an empire of faith and steel. But their story was far from over. In the next chapter of our journey, we will explore their meteoric rise to power and the innovations that would make them one of the most influential organizations in history. This is the story of how the Templars became more than just knights. They became a force that reshaped the medieval world. As the Crusades intensified, so did the role of the Knights Templar. By the mid-12th century, the Templars were no longer just escorts for pilgrims. They had transformed into a powerful military order, defending key Christian territories in the Holy Land. Their network of fortifications stretched from the coastlines of Acre to the deserts of Jordan, forming an unyielding chain of defense. The Templars were not just skilled fighters, they were master tacticians. Their discipline on the battlefield was unmatched. Unlike most medieval armies, Templar knights operated with a chain of command and adhered to strict battle formations. This gave them a decisive edge in battles such as the Siege of Ascalon, where their bravery turned the tide in favor of the Crusaders. Their iconic white mantles, adorned with a red cross, became a symbol of fear for their enemies and inspiration for their allies. The Templars' reputation as fearless warriors solidified their status as the defenders of Christendom. While their exploits on the battlefield earned them fame, their operations off the battlefield made them wealthy beyond measure. The Knights Templar amassed immense wealth through donations from European nobility. Kings, lords, and commoners alike entrusted the Templars with land, gold, and even entire estates, believing their contributions would secure divine favor. But the Templars were more than just recipients of charity. They were innovators in finance. Their network of commanderies and fortresses across Europe and the Holy Land became hubs of economic activity. They cultivated land, managed trade routes, and even operated their own banking system. One of their most significant contributions was the development of an early form of banking. Pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land could deposit their money with the Templars in Europe and withdraw funds at Templar strongholds in the East. This system not only ensured the safety of travelers' wealth, but also laid the groundwork for modern banking practices. The Knights Templar were also master builders. Their castles were marvels of medieval engineering, combining defensive strength with strategic positioning. Cracq des Chevaliers, perched high on a hill in modern-day Syria, remains one of the best preserved examples of their architectural prowess. These fortresses were more than just military outposts, they were self-sustaining communities. Inside the walls, Templars stored supplies, trained new recruits, and coordinated their operations. Each castle was a testament to the order's resourcefulness and attention to detail. The castles also served as symbols of Templar dominance, reminding both allies and enemies of their unwavering commitment to their mission. One often overlooked aspect of the Knights Templar was their naval prowess. As guardians of the Holy Land, the Templars recognized the importance of controlling sea routes. They built a fleet of ships that not only transported soldiers and supplies but also safeguarded trade routes across the Mediterranean. Their fleet became a vital lifeline for Crusader states, ensuring a steady flow of resources and reinforcements. Some historians argue that the Templars' naval operations laid the foundation for later maritime powers such as Venice and Genoa. Back in Europe, the Templars wielded significant influence. Their commanderies became centers of power, blending monastic life with administrative duties. These estates managed vast tracts of land, collected taxes, and supported the order's operations in the Holy Land. The Templars' connections with European royalty further cemented their status. Kings sought their counsel, borrowed money from their coffers, and entrusted them with critical diplomatic missions. Their reach extended far beyond the battlefield, making them one of the most powerful institutions of the medieval world. Despite their wealth and power, the Knights Templar never abandoned their spiritual roots. At their core, they remained a monastic order devoted to the defense of Christianity. Daily life in a Templar commandery was marked by prayer, meditation, and rigorous adherence to their rule. Their dual identity as warriors and monks set them apart, inspiring both admiration and curiosity. This balance of faith and force would define their legacy for centuries to come. The Knights Templar had risen to unparalleled heights, their influence spanning continents and their legacy immortalized in stone and scripture. But their story would take a dramatic turn, a fall as meteoric as their rise. What happens when the world's most powerful military order becomes too influential, too wealthy, and too feared? The answer lies in the dramatic downfall of the Knights Templar, a saga of betrayal, greed, and vengeance that would shake the very foundations of medieval Europe. Join us as we uncover the truth behind the accusations of heresy, the trials that sent shockwaves across Christendom, and the enduring mysteries surrounding their legacy. This is the story of the Templars' fall from grace and their lasting impact on history. The year is 1307. The Knights Templar, once hailed as the protectors of the Holy Land and the financiers of Europe, are now the targets of a sinister plot. Their enemies are no longer Saracen warriors but the ambitious and ruthless King Philip IV of France and a fragile papacy struggling to maintain its authority. But how did the Templars, an order of devout warrior monks, come to be accused of heresy and treason? To understand their fall, we must first unravel the political and economic tensions of the 13th and 14th centuries. These were times of shifting alliances, power struggles, and an insatiable hunger for control. The Templars, despite their sacred vows, found themselves at the epicenter of this turmoil. Their immense influence, derived from their roles as both warriors and financiers, made them indispensable yet envied. As guardians of wealth and facilitators of European commerce, they symbolized stability in an unstable world. But as their influence grew, so too did the jealousy and fear among Europe's rulers. The seeds of their downfall were sown not in distant battlefields but in the courts and chambers of power. The downfall of the Templars was rooted in their immense wealth and autonomy. By the late 13th century, the Holy Land had fallen, and the Templars' military role diminished. However, their financial power only grew stronger. Kings and nobles were indebted to the Templars, and their independent status, reporting directly to the Pope, made him a threat to monarchs like King Philip IV. Facing mounting debts and a restless population, Philip saw the Templars as both a scapegoat and a treasure trove. Philip's economic troubles were compounded by his expensive wars and mismanagement. The Templars' vast resources, including their wealth and land holdings, became an irresistible target. Moreover, their secrecy and exclusive rituals fed into a growing distrust. Whispers of hidden knowledge, mysterious rites, and unorthodox beliefs spread like wildfire. This combination of envy, fear, and desperation created the perfect storm, setting the stage for their dramatic fall. On Friday, October 13, 1307, a date that would live in infamy, King Philip ordered the arrest of all Templars in France. Under the cover of darkness, royal agents swept through Templar strongholds, seizing knights, monks, and treasures. The accusations were shocking: heresy, idolatry, blasphemy, and even devil worship. These charges were based on confessions extracted under torture, a grim reality of medieval justice. The world watched in horror as the once revered knights were paraded as criminals. The arrest sent shockwaves across Europe. How could such a revered order fall so quickly? The answer lay in the meticulous planning of King Philip, who coordinated the arrests with precision. His agents ensured that the Templars' leaders were captured simultaneously, leaving little room for resistance. The captured knights faced unimaginable suffering, their loyalty tested under the harshest conditions. But even in the face of such adversity, many maintained their innocence, refusing to betray their brothers or their cause. The trials that followed were nothing short of a spectacle. Templars were forced to confess to heinous crimes, their words twisted to fit the narrative of heresy. Witness accounts spoke of rituals involving the desecration of holy symbols and secret initiations. However, modern historians have cast doubt on these claims, viewing him as fabrications by a desperate king. The papacy, under pressure from Philip, reluctantly endorsed the trials, further damaging its credibility. Eyewitness reports from the trials reveal the extent of the suffering endured by the Templars. Torture chambers echoed with their cries as inquisitors sought to extract confessions. Many knights perished during these brutal interrogations, their bodies broken but their spirits unyielding. For those who survived, the trials were a public humiliation, designed to strip them of their honor and legacy. Yet, amidst the horror, stories of resilience and defiance emerged, cementing their place in history as martyrs of a political conspiracy. The final blow came in 1314. Jacques de Molay, the last Grand Master of the Templars, was burned at the stake in Paris. As flames engulfed him, de Molay reportedly cursed King Philip and Pope Clement V, prophesying their deaths within a year. Remarkably, both men died shortly afterward, fueling rumors of a Templar curse. This dramatic end solidified the Templars' place in legend, but their story was far from over. De Molay's execution was more than just the end of a leader, it was the symbolic annihilation of the Templar order. Yet, his stoic bravery in the face of death inspired generations to come. Chronicles describe his final moments as a testament to his faith and conviction. His supposed curse became the stuff of legend, adding an air of mystique to the Templars' tragic story. Whether fact or fiction, de Molay's death marked the end of an era and the beginning of an enduring legacy. Though disbanded, the Templars' influence lived on. Their financial innovations laid the groundwork for modern banking. Their symbols, such as the Red Cross and the Templar seal, became iconic. Conspiracy theories linked them to the Freemasons, secret societies, and even hidden treasures. The mysterious disappearance of their vast wealth continues to captivate treasure hunters and historians alike. In popular culture, the Templars are immortalized as enigmatic figures, their true story shrouded in mystery. The Templars' enduring legacy is a testament to their impact on history. From medieval manuscripts to modern films, their story continues to captivate audiences worldwide. Scholars debate their contributions to economics, governance, and religion, while enthusiasts scour ancient sites for traces of their hidden treasures. This duality, as historical figures and mythical icons, ensures their place in the annals of history as one of the most intriguing orders ever to exist. Today, the Knights Templar are remembered as both heroes and villains. To some, they represent the ultimate sacrifice for faith and duty. To others, they embody the dangers of unchecked power. Their story serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder of the complexities of history and the enduring human fascination with mystery and intrigue. As we reflect on their legacy, one question remains: were the Templars victims of a political conspiracy, or is there more to their story than meets the eye? The modern fascination with the Templars is evident in the countless books, documentaries, and fictional works inspired by their tale. They serve as a symbol of resilience and mystery, embodying the tension between faith and power. As historians uncover new evidence and theories, the Templars' story evolves, offering fresh insights into their enigmatic existence. Whether as historical figures or legends, their impact on culture and imagination is undeniable. The story of the Knights Templar may have ended in flames, but their legacy burns brightly in our imaginations. What secrets did they take to their graves? What truths remain hidden in the shadows of history? Perhaps we'll never know, but one thing is certain: the Templars' tale will continue to inspire and intrigue for generations to come. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into history's greatest mysteries.